No sport coat, no fancy pocket square, no fancy lab that I'm walking in front of. Why? Because that's not who David Wakefield is, founder of Southern Dentech. Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Kraft, and on this episode, surrounded by the beautiful mountains, we're in Palm Springs. Now, this interview is going to be quite different. Certainly, no dead end. We're not going to talk to David about how he's created such a successful lab over the past 35 years. We're going to talk to him about how he's created a quality of life and sanctuary for himself and his family by going right to his house. Let's go check him out. Usually this is a different setting. This is not his office. This is his sanctuary. We're doing this interview at your house, in your backyard, in Palm Springs, Palm Desert area, and it's absolutely stunning, the landscape that's here, the house. How did you get involved in this space? Was it a path that was direct, or did you fall into it indirectly, and how did that happen?
I went to Manchester College in Manchester, in England, and studied for 3 years, and I did another 2 years on top of that on a specialty. One day, I was originally actually going to go to Saudi Arabia. I was going to go there to teach. I was going to teach other dental technicians how to perform being a lab tech. And after that, after a 10-year period, I'd probably be dismissed, and they'll go their own, they'll have what they want, and they would set up their own hospitals. Then about a month later, my friend called me up from California, says, I'm already here, just come out. So they agreed that they would hold the job, and I came out to California in March of 1986. And then the person that I came out with, we struck a partnership for 15, 16 years, all the way through to 2003. We worked very, very hard to get the lab up and running, and we did very, very well.
You're obviously a very driven person. You're not afraid to take chances.
Calculated.
Calculated. So that's kind of where I want to go. Have you always been that way, or was this something that you've learned over time?
It depends. I mean, my choices when I was a kid, when I went to school, I was either going to be a dental technician or a Ferrari mechanic. If I was on the Formula One tour doing the Ferrari mechanic thing, I may have liked that gig a little bit more. But, you have to, take with what you have and make the best of it. I have great support. My wife is beautiful, and I've got good family support, not just from my own family, from my wife's family.
Let's talk about technology, shifting gears a little bit. Because you can't stay in the industry without allowing yourself to adopt the new technology, the digital dentistry that's gone on. Have you truly accepted that? And if so, where do you see it going from here on out? Because again, you are calculated.
So the idea here is the investment on your return. But in this case of AI in our business, without it, you die. We would still be making PFMs today. I come from the era of waxing and a ceramist, all two separate jobs. That's how me and my partner originally started out our contract, of setting up Southern Dentech in 1989. We've been established that long. And we were PFM guys at the time. So if you don't make the adjustment, you are going to disappear. So we made the adjustment by purchasing just the basic necessities. I do a lot of subcontracting, but I do my own designs. You have to move with the times, but you can't overspend. You cannot go too far into it that you can't recover your money.
True abutment. How did the relationship with True Abutment, how did that all come together?
True Abutment. I came across with Peter many years ago. True Abutment's a really good company. They're probably the most reliable company I think I've dealt with. They run it militarily. It's a very efficient machine. How many remakes have I had? None. I mean, we're down to nickels and dimes. The doctor has a certain protocol that he's looking for, and it is price management. And you've got to make sure that your product falls in that. And true abutment with the quality and the reasonable pricing. I think it's a marketable product in your business for sure. And if you want to make money, that's what you have to do.
I want to talk about the relationships with doctors. How have you built those relationships? Because you can build relationships with doctors. There's many different ways to do that, but maintaining those relationships, that's where the hard work really comes in. How do you build and maintain those relationships?
Well, I've had a lot of people, like we discussed before we came on camera, that I do a lot of subcontracting. So I contract out to other people, and I don't necessarily employ a lot of people, but I do have people that like to come in and do part-time work and things like that on their own schedule. And it's an open forum in my lab. So this new guy that we've had for a few years, and he goes, "Why are they calling you on the way home to ask you how your family's doing?" And I said, "Well, this is what it's about. It's not just the work thing. When I first came out here, there was a guy that really showed me Thanksgiving, a doctor, come into my house. I'll show you Thanksgiving."
The genuine, authentic
Right.
conversations.
Right.
You've been in the industry for such a long time. The experience that you bring to your smaller office, it's not just quality, it's an experienced quality.
Right.
Where, doctors from all over, they trust you. Why do you feel like they trust you so much and you are the go-to?
Basically the experience, but mainly having a successful rate, a successful patient transition.
Mm-hmm.
The patient comes to the doctor upon a premise that you are promising quite a lot. And we find that a lot of people don't deliver the goods. It's just an inferior product sometimes, and it's not what the patient wants. So we give what the patient wants more than what the doctor wants. So in that perspective, happy patient, happy doctor. That's what it boils down to.
What advice would you give a lab tech that wants to start their own practice to get to that point and truly understand? I guess you would learn that over time if you're a lab tech, but you want to open your own lab. Mm-hmm. How do you really get that mindset? Allow yourself to have that mindset and trust the ROI. It always comes back to the ROI, but you've got to
Right.
trust your choice.
Yeah, don't take anything personally. Because it's a service. So anytime you're in the service business, I could take you to Walmart on the day after Christmas, and these people just take their stuff back and they just throw it on the table. And if you took that personally, they took my product back. It's so offensive they brought it back, and it's really you just process it out. It's not my fault. It's not their fault. It's just a sequence of events. It could be somebody putting the wrong shade down. It could be anything.
Yeah.
It's a really, really difficult position.
You and I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to get out of these.
We are going to take some serious divots out of the golf course, get our money's worth out of it. Yeah.
Some serious divots out of the golf course and a couple of serious divots out of the bottom of a cup as well, possibly. Well,
it has a good bar there. I remember the bar.
Is there? I look forward to seeing the bar.
David,
all right.
we have a special surprise.
Oh no! Do I have to pay for it?
Just the taxes.
Free of charge.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right,
Yeah, thank
open
you.
it.
Oh boy! Thank you. Look at that. True abutments back in my office again. There's a cantina. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I didn't get one. I never get anything. Oh, David, Palm Springs. It never gets old. This is beautiful weather.
It is beautiful.
I really appreciate you sharing your story, the success that you've had over the last 35 years, but really the quality of life that you've created for yourself, your family. It's really impressive. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
Oh, welcome. Anytime. You come out anytime you want.
I will. Okay. So you talked about golf earlier. I heard you're a good golfer. Mm-hmm. Want to go play some golf?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, well, let's prove it.
All
Grab
right.
your clubs.
Okay.
See you next time. Bye.